Here's a question that's splitting truck buyers right down the middle. Would you pay extra for a V8 in your Silverado 1500, or is that old-school engine finally outdated? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where your hard-earned money should go. For decades, the Chevrolet Silverado has stood as one of the most trusted names in full-size trucks, and much of that trust comes from what sits under the hood. Now, with the refreshed 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter V8 options, shoppers are wondering the same thing. In a world moving toward turbocharged 6 cylinders and electric powertrains, does the Chevy V8 still make sense in 2025 and beyond? Today, we're breaking down the updated V8 lineup in the Silverado 1500, looking at horsepower, real-world reliability, towing muscle, fuel economy, and long-term ownership value, pulling insight from powertrain engineers, automotive analysts, and professional truck reviewers. Let's start with what's actually new under the hood. The 2025 Silverado 1500 offers two V8 choices. The first is the 5.3-liter EcoTec3 V8, producing 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. The second is the 6.2-liter EcoTec3 V8, delivering 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Both engines are built on GM's 5th-generation small-block architecture, which includes direct injection, variable valve timing, and dynamic fuel management for better efficiency. What really separates the 2025 versions, though, is the tuning. GM's engineers spent years refining the calibration on these engines, sharpening mid-range torque delivery, improving throttle response, and making cylinder deactivation nearly seamless. According to Jason Fenske, host of Engineering Explained, GM's V8s remain some of the simplest and most heat-tolerant engines in the light-duty truck segment, and their cylinder deactivation barely affects how the truck drives while still saving fuel. Now let's talk about power, because that's what most buyers actually care about. If raw acceleration is your priority, the 6.2-liter doesn't disappoint. A Silverado RST with the 6.2 and 4-wheel drive can hit 60 miles per hour in about 5.4 seconds, and it'll run the quarter mile in roughly 14.1 seconds. It also holds strong when passing on the highway, even fully loaded. The 5.3-liter is less aggressive, but it's a dependable workhorse, ideal for buyers who want consistent pulling strength without paying for premium fuel or higher insurance costs. In everyday driving, many owners say the 6.2-liter actually feels stronger than several turbocharged rivals thanks to smooth, linear power delivery and strong low-end torque. Dan Edmonds, a veteran vehicle dynamics engineer, describes the 6.2-liter's torque curve as remarkably flat, meaning drivers don't deal with turbo lag or heat management issues, especially when climbing steep grades while towing. Speaking of towing, this is really where the V8 earns its keep. With the max trailering package, the 6.2-liter V8 can tow up to 13,300 pounds. The 5.3-liter is rated to tow up to 11,300 pounds. Payload capacity sits around 2,100 pounds, depending on trim and configuration. Compared to Ford's EcoBoost Phi 6 and Ram's eTorque HEMI, the Chevy V8 lands right in the middle of the pack. It may not top the towing charts, but its naturally aspirated design and consistent cooling behavior make it far less prone to overheating or knocking during long, demanding hauls. Truck reviewer Andrei Smirnov from TFL Truck puts it simply: if you tow often and value durability over flashy technology, the V8 is still the right choice, and the 6.2-liter stays composed under heavy loads while delivering that unmistakable V8 character. Let's address fuel economy, because that's usually the V8's biggest weakness. The good news is that GM's modern V8s aren't nearly as thirsty as older generations. The 5.3-liter is rated around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 20 on the highway. The 6.2-liter comes in around 15 city and 20 highway. In real-world mixed driving, most owners report averages between 17 and 18 miles per gallon. Thanks to dynamic fuel management, the engine can run on 2, 4, 6, or all 8 cylinders depending on demand, which means you're not wasting fuel during highway cruising or light city driving. John Volker, a senior analyst focused on transmissions and electrified powertrains, calls GM's cylinder deactivation among the most advanced in the industry, noting the Silverado's V8 can match or even beat some twin-turbo V6 rivals on the highway. That said, if fuel economy is your top priority, the turbocharged 4-cylinder or the Duramax diesel option might be a smarter fit. But if you're not willing to give up performance, the V8 offers a strong middle ground. Beyond the numbers, there's also how the truck feels and sounds. Part of the V8 appeal has always been that deep, satisfying rumble, and the 6.2-liter delivers it especially well in sportier trims like the RST or ZR2. Paired with GM's 10-speed automatic transmission, gear changes are quick and smooth, and power comes on effortlessly, whether you're climbing a grade or merging onto the highway. Travis Langness, a senior test editor at Edmunds, describes it as an effortlessness only a V8 delivers. The engine never strains, it simply performs, something turbocharged and electric powertrains still haven't matched. Ride quality has also improved thanks to recent suspension updates and better cabin insulation, so V8 Silverados in trims like Z71 or LTZ now offer a quieter, more composed ride while still feeling powerful and planted on the road. Reliability is where the V8 really shines for a lot of buyers. GM's small block V8 has built a strong reputation for surpassing 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Compared to more complex turbocharged 6-cylinders, these engines have fewer components that can fail, no turbochargers or intercoolers to worry about, and a long track record of durability in fleet, commercial, and off-road applications. Scotty Kilmer, the well-known independent mechanic and YouTube personality, sums it up bluntly, saying these V8s are some of the last great ones GM has made, and while they're not flawless, they're far simpler to repair than newer turbocharged engines, which usually means lower long-term repair bills. Earlier Silverado generations did have some issues, including oil consumption and lifter failures in older engines, along with some transmission tuning complaints, but the majority of these problems have been resolved in recent model years, particularly since 2023. Now let's talk money, because upgrading to a V8 isn't free. Moving up from the base turbocharged 4-cylinder to a V8 can add anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 to the price tag, and the 6.2-liter is usually reserved for higher trims like RST, LTZ, or High Country. So is that extra cost worth it? A few things to consider. Resale value tends to be stronger on V8-equipped trucks, especially in regions where towing and off-road capability matter to buyers. Ownership costs over 5 to 10 years often favor the V8 as well, since its simpler design typically means lower repair costs compared to more complicated turbo systems. And then there's outright capability, since the V8 unlocks higher towing numbers, quicker acceleration, and a more responsive throttle feel overall. How does the Silverado stack up against the competition? Ford's F-150 with the 5.0-liter V8 offers slightly less torque than Chevy's 6.2-liter. Similar reliability, but without the same level of cylinder deactivation sophistication, though it does have strong aftermarket support. The Ram 1500 with the 5.7-liter HEMI is known for its exhaust note and punchy power delivery, though it trails slightly in fuel economy and fuel-saving technology, and some owners have raised long-term concerns about its cylinder deactivation system. Toyota's Tundra with its twin-turbo V6 offers better fuel economy and quicker acceleration when paired with the hybrid setup, but it's a more complex system with less proven long-term reliability. If simplicity, dependability, and raw power matter most to you, the Silverado's V8 lineup offers a genuinely compelling balance of old-school toughness and modern-day efficiency. So what's the final word? According to Patrick Ralph, an automotive journalist covering GM vehicles closely, the Silverado's V8 isn't just surviving in an efficiency-obsessed market, it's thriving, blending modern engineering with old-fashioned reliability in a way that's becoming increasingly rare. For the right buyer, especially someone who tows regularly, hauls heavy loads, or simply loves the sound and feel of a real V8, the Silverado 1500 V8 is absolutely worth choosing. Between its strong performance, proven durability, and surprisingly competitive fuel economy, it remains a smart pick even as the truck market keeps shifting. At a time when turbocharged engines, hybrids, and electric trucks dominate the headlines, there's still something deeply satisfying about a real V8 doing honest work. Chevrolet's current Silverado 1500 V8 engines aren't outdated leftovers. They're refined, capable, and dependable workhorses that still deliver real advantages for buyers who need power they can count on. So if you're asking whether the new Chevy Silverado 1500 V8 is still worth every dollar, the answer is yes, especially if reliability and long-term value matter most to you.